Thanks for joining us here on Facebook Weather, as well as here on 9 News Watch and on 9 News YouTube. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at that Colorado weather forecast. And by the way, if you got comments and questions and you're joining us on Facebook, you can type those in below and I'll try and answer as many of those as possible. Meantime, for your day today, it's pretty nice out there. Temperatures on the warm side. We're going to be rising up near 80 degrees. The concern with that, though, and particularly keeping in mind with what happened back on Saturday with the NCAR fire near Boulder and, of course, the Marshall fire back in late December, the big concern is going to be that increased fire danger for our day today. Big cool down for your day tomorrow, and then slushy snow for your Wednesday morning. Not a big deal, though, for us here in the Denver area. It's the mountains that'll see the majority of the snowfall. But again, today, red flag warning in place. That means avoid anything with a spark outdoors. And I mentioned this kind of throughout the broadcast earlier on this morning. As a reminder, about 80% of wildfires are either human-caused or human influenced. What I mean by that is we either directly or indirectly, power lines, something like that, cause wildfires. So just, I suppose, keep in mind, please, it's really important on all of us to have individual responsibility on a day like this when we've got that increased fire danger. And, of course, we've been dealing with these horrible wildfires over the course of the last couple of months. Current temperatures, a lot of 40s and 50s in the mountains, even a few low 60s depending on your elevation, 70s and getting close to about 80 in a few spots here on the eastern plains, 77 out in Lyman, the warm spot in the state of Colorado at this point. Today we do rise those temperatures on up near 80 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up getting there here in Denver. That's going to depend on whether or not we can clear up some of these clouds. If we do, we should get up to 80. If not, which kind of looks likely to me, we'll probably stay just shy of 80 degrees this afternoon. But there is a look at some of those mid to high level clouds out ahead of our next storm system that's moving its way through California. By the way, leading to a lot of heavy rain for us in the LA area, as well as on north into Bakersfield and the San Joaquin Valley there of central California. All that rain and snow going to spin east into Colorado as we head overnight and to your day tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, look at these temperatures, much cooler than today. High of just 58 for your day tomorrow with some isolated storms around for us here into the Denver area. And winds will be a bit gusty at times as well, with some of those gusts at some point, perhaps getting up to the 30-mile-an-hour range. And by the way, could be talking about our first thunderstorms of the season out here into the Denver area and throughout much of eastern Colorado. I think we'll see a few claps of thunder out there. Again, the first ones of the season for many of us. So rumbles of thunder possible. I think that rain develops between about 12 and 3 in the Denver area tomorrow. By the way, mountains, it's going to be snowing basically all day long up this way. And then in Colorado, eastern Colorado, Denver area, Front Range, I think that rain, again, between about 12 and 3 develops, and it'll rain through much of the afternoon and to the early evening, and then it flips over to some snow late tomorrow night and early on your Wednesday morning. Not looking for much in the way of accumulation here in Denver, but I'll show you that in more detail in just a second. Rain heavy at times in the southeastern Colorado. Good news is that moisture always welcome here in the state of Colorado, or should say just about always welcome here in the state of Colorado. A few leftover snow showers south of I-70 for your Wednesday, but most of us clearing on out. Winter weather advisories for us in the high country above 9,000 feet. This would be for the Gores, the Elkheads, as well as through the West Elks and the San Juan mountain ranges, where we could be seeing, in some cases, up to 10 inches worth of heavy, wet snow. Most of that coming during the day tomorrow. And there's a look at those snowfall totals. Some pretty impressive totals out into the San Juans in particular. Denver area, yeah, not much on our way, as we're going to be looking here in town. Probably maybe a slushy little bit of snow here in Denver. Most of that coming early in your Wednesday morning. Foothills, Palmer Divide, I think it's going to be 6,500 feet or above. So we're talking west side of Golden, Evergreen, especially the west side of Evergreen, Bailey, Conifer. That's where you could see a few sloppy inches of snow, maybe kind of 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches of snow up that way. And then in the Palmer Divide, kind of the highest area. So Monument, Larkspur, that's where you could see, again, 2, 3, 4 inches of snow. But most of us here in the immediate metro, including even Castle Rock and Highlands Ranch, I don't think we're going to see more than maybe an inch out our way. 7-day forecast, well, has a little bit of everything, as it tends to be this time of year. We do have the potential for a bit more in the way of rain and snow coming up on your Friday. Otherwise, it's fairly dry and fairly seasonable with High temperatures this time of year, usually right around 60 degrees, and that's where we're going to be for much of the week ahead. So a lot of sunshine and, again, a couple of chances for rain and snow and needed precipitation. Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Watch. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin will have more updates later on today. In the meantime, stay safe out there with that high fire danger.